All right, can I get a roll call?
Present.
Here. President Guy.
Here. All right, moving on to number 8, unless there are any changes. Can I get to the approval of the agenda, can I get approval of the motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And we did amend item 14A3. We corrected, it was the number, it said 7 and it should have been 5, but that's already, the amendment's already made in the agenda.
Okay, thank you.
With that amendment, can I get approval, a motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve as amended.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to number 9. Can I entertain a motion to get approval of the minutes for August 19th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then let's see, we are reporting out of closed session. So the board, reporting out of closed session, the board approved the suspended stipulation expulsion by a vote of 3-0. Moving on to communications, board report. Anybody's got anything to?
I don't have a whole lot, but I was able to go to Terra Nova's back to school night last week, which was good. Nice to see, some familiar faces and also just to see the joy of the students and parents that evening. And I think that's pretty much all and yesterday I was able to go, I think, march in support of our labor friends in San Francisco, as well as, demonstrating against the current federal regime. So it was good to be out there and be amongst, several thousand people in San Francisco. So that was good.
It's awesome.
So last Monday, I'm with the Commission on the Status of Women for the county, and we hosted a Women's Equality Day event with our 3 women's supervisors who were panelists, and it was a really great, empowering event. It marked the passage of women's right to vote. Although, for me, not every woman was actually able to vote because, a good portion of women of color could not vote until 1964. Is it 64, 65? The Voting Rights Act. So, is it really Women's Equality Day? Yes, okay, I will accept it, but I always look at it from a different lens. But if there's something to celebrate, it was worth celebrating. It was a great event.
I think if anything, it's a good reminder that we need to hold steadfast in those values.
Oh, yeah, because
Because we are being faced
it's
with those
being
challenges
chipped
again.
away
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah, for sure.
Constantly.
Yeah, well, I didn't get around to doing much these past couple weeks. Our family was sick with COVID, so I do want to thank Ms. Presta for a nice email she sent out to some of the schools for their awesome, jobs on back to school night and all that good stuff. So I wish I was able to attend. Well, yeah, I got to get back into it. So feeling better, yeah. So moving on to Ms. Presta for our superintendent report.
Thank you. I did send emails of thanks to the staff at Westmore, Jefferson, and Terra Nova. So those are the back to school nights that have happened so far, and I've attended them all, and they've all been wonderful. They've all been different too. I remarked with Ms. Shreve, who comes with me to these events, and they all have such a different flavor, and they're all great and just different. And so the school year's opened up well at each of those schools, and all were great nights, well attended. Actually, all 3 were very well attended. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is that we started back with student advisory. Last Monday was our first meeting, and we've got a great group of students. We've got, I don't know, maybe a little less than half, but many returning students. So that's great because there's continuity. And I'm really looking forward to a good year ahead.
Yeah, and I completely forgot I was there for that.
You were
So
there.
We got to do some pretty cool exercises with the kids. It was pretty neat. Some team building stuff. So it was really cool to be able to interact with them for a change.
Yeah,
So
good.
yeah, thanks for the reminder on that. All right. Are there, item 11C, are there any board subcommittee reports? All right. And I don't see Monica here or anybody probably to report out for local 1481. So we will move on. Can I entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Right. Let's see. Yeah. So moving on to item 14.
No. So 13?
13, yeah.
Yeah, so there, we do not have public comment on non-agendized items.
Got it. Are there any public comment on it? Items? Got it. Okay. And we are moving on to discussion items. 14A1,
That's me.
Ms. Tony Preston.
Yeah. So I was going to do these all as one, but I think I'll go quickly over each one. These are all discussion items so it's the first read. This first one, 14A1, is for board policy 9320, meetings and notices. And we've been doing a really good job at just updating our board policies with current CSBA recommended language. And that's why we're doing this one. And this one is specifically, mainly updated to reflect new law, AB 577, which extended and modified the ability of a board member to join a meeting by teleconference. I just found that my battery is running low in my computer. So I'm going to take a moment. So if there are any questions about that, it's pretty self-explanatory. Do you mind if I kind of read all four of them? Okay. And then 14A2 is board policy update for Board Bylaw 9322, agenda and meeting materials. So it is updated to move material regarding public comments to be with content-related language, amend language to be more closely aligned with code language, and material regarding the means for in-person and remote public comments. And again, reflect new law of AB 2449, which requires boards to maintain and implement a procedure for receiving and swiftly resolving requests for reasonable accommodation to board meetings for individuals with disabilities. So there are just updates that were recommended by CSBA. Also reflecting new law AB 2647, which clarifies how districts can, without opening their offices after normal business hours, comply with portion of the Brown Act that requires writings or documents distributed to a majority of local legislative body less than 72 hours before a meeting to also be distributed to the public. The next is board policy update for board bylaw 9323. This bylaw is updated to reflect new law, SB 1100, which was passed in 2022, which authorizes the board president to remove an individual for disrupting a board meeting, establishes a procedure for warning the individual prior to the removal, and defines disrupting and true threat of force. Finally, there's board policy update for the board bylaw 9323.2, actions by the board. This bylaw is updated to add that the governing board may take action on a request by a board member to participate by teleconference due to emergency circumstances if it is not on the posted agenda, so long as there was not sufficient time to place it on the agenda. Additionally, bylaw was updated to remove language related to the authority of a district attorney's office or an interested person to file a civil action asking the court to order the board to stop or prevent a Brown Act violation, and replace it with language requiring the district attorney's office or interested person to first present a demand to cure and correct the alleged violation. And when such occurs, for the board to consult with legal counsel on if and how to respond. So all of these proposed updates are in line with language proposed by CSBA.
Thank you for that. Are there any
Thank you.
comments, questions?
So next month, they will be placed on the consent agenda for your approval.
Just thank you, because I know there's often a lot of new legislation that comes through that takes us a while to catch up on or to know how to address that specific language.
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for keeping us up to date.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to 14B, Student Services, 14B1, Board Policy Updates. Doreen, I think we'll let you do the same thing, kind of run through them. Okay.
I'll go through them. First of all, I just want to thank Chelsea for doing all this work. So the first one is BP 51162, involuntary student transfers. This policy updated to reflect new California Department of Education guidance regarding legal requirements and recommended best practices governing voluntary and involuntary student transfer. Second is BP 5117, interdistrict attendance. The policy updated to reference new law which authorizes a district to enter into an instruction collaboration agreement with another local agency, LEA, to offer the same or similar courses and coursework to students from another LEA who have been impacted by a teacher shortage, disruptions, or cancellations in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics classes or dual language immersion programs. And Board Policy 5131.2, bullying. Policy updated to reflect new law, which requires that districts' policy prohibiting discrimination, harassment, intimidation, and bullying include a statement that the policy applies to all acts of the governing board and superintendent in enacting policies and procedures that govern the district. Policy also updated to reference new U.S. Department of Education guidance addressing discrimination and reflects CSBA's policy brief, school safety, bullying, and cyberbullying, which encourages districts' families to model respect, behavior, contribute to a safe and supportive learning environment, and monitor potential causes of bullying.
Thank you. And obviously, we're seeing why it's so important to keep these things updated. Are there any questions or comments on these?
Just one question on BP 5117. Have there been any instances like that for us?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Good, moving on. 14C, Business Services, Action Item 1, Board Policy Update. Christina Van Raphorst, you want to take the next three with us?
Thank you so much, President Gallegos. Good evening, everyone. Policy 3100 has been updated to clarify that the budget advisory committees may not comprise a majority of the board, since that would constitute a quorum and require that we agendize it as a board meeting. Additionally, the policy updates references to new laws about the local control funding formula, which could impact us if we ever flip back from community funded status. And lastly, that policy is updated to clarify that the district may adopt strategies to fund contributions to state retirement systems. Policy 3400 has been updated to reflect new law SB 1439, which is related to conflict of interests for those involved in making contracts on behalf of the district. It also clarifies reporting requirements and the use of internal controls to strengthen fraud prevention. And the last policy that I have, 3530, is updated to address the basis upon which insurance decisions should be made and the provision of safety-related training and protective equipment for staff. It also clarifies timelines for reporting to the board on risk management activities. And same as all the rest of them, if there are no changes, they will come back on consent for your approval in the next meeting.
Thank you. Any questions?
None for me.
It's okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Lots of good work there in those updates. Now moving on to item 15A1, job description updates. Ms. Dana Lujan.
Good evening, everyone. The item before you includes 6 job description updates. The purpose of the updates is to clarify that these grant-funded positions are temporary in nature, and as such, individuals hired into these positions hold the position of classified substitute, a 1-year position. And we just wanted to provide transparency so that we made the updates to clarify that.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Can I entertain a motion to approve the job description updates as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Um,
Actually,
President Gallegos for 15A2.
yep.
We do have public comment, but we will
You'll-
entertain it after the
Yeah.
presentation.
We'll listen to public comment after the item's been presented.
Thank you,
Correct.
sir.
Yes. Okay, 15A2, salary schedule revision. Ms. Dana Lujan.
Good evening again. Before you this evening is a salary schedule revision for the administrator's salary schedule. The redesign of the salary schedule rewards longevity for administrators who remain with the district to ideally promote retention. The update also includes a reclassification of the position of Director of Bond Projects and Constructions. This reclassification aligns with the reclassification work that we were doing for the classified unit, mostly engaged in the work we engaged in last year. And I welcome any questions.
Any questions from the board? Comments?
I would rather wait until after we've had the public comment.
Okay, sounds good. Call the public comment.
Hi. So our speaker is Bernardina, and you may come up to the dais. And you'll have 3 minutes. And the timer will be on behind us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening, school board, administration, staff, students, and guests. Hello, my name is Bernardina Arias. I've been in the district for 6 years. I am a training assistant for the Adult Transition Program, and I am on the Union Executive Board. I am speaking this evening in response to the proposed administrative contract changes, and I speak for many of my colleagues. We respect the integrity of the board and the administration, and I want to support the intention to reward hard work and retention. We need to examine the difference between intention and impact. The impact of this intention is being overlooked. The impact is systemic inequality within the pay structure of our district's employees. Where did the administration find the additional $95,000 to pay themselves this school year between the $40,000 increases for both deputy superintendents and the $15,000 of increases for all other administrators under the new pay scale? The financial information shared with staff led us to believe the district could not fund new positions or salary raises beyond 4%. I understand the intention behind this proposal. I acknowledge the discrepancy report, which indicated that our administrative team was paid in the low to mid salary range compared to others in the area. I also know that many of our district employees make less compared to other districts, and the same report failed to include classified staff and focus on certified positions. Over half of our union membership is classified and make less than $56 an hour. The BIS salary schedule only goes up to step 7 and the OSS to step 5. Shouldn't they also grow 4 steps? Additionally, classified staff working less than half-time do not get benefits, and those with jobs less than 7.5 hours a day don't get retirement benefits. Our cafeteria workers make the least in this district, and in the last board meeting, you were hoping to cut 7 of those positions through attrition, but at that wage, those employees, like many others, can't afford to retire. The impact of the motion's good intention lacked transparency. The meeting agenda was published on Friday before a 3-day weekend, and the vote is tonight. It seems like you're giving management a substantial raise the day after Labor Day. It looks like the district cut 3 librarians to fund admin raises. It feels like anyone making over $200,000 a year should pay for their own cell phones and vehicles, just like the rest of us in lower tax brackets who need to travel and use our personal phones for work. The impact of
30
administrative
seconds.
raises is disrespectful to all other district employees who work diligently, efficiently, with integrity, who can hardly afford to live in this area because they don't make a living wage. Rewarding the top with more money is national level politicking and in bad taste. How can we stand behind the district mission statement with this proposal? Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to comment?
Yeah, this is one of those one of those things that's not always the easiest, knowing the discrepancy. We just know that that is what it is, unfortunately. But we're also well aware that our administrators are in a similar position compared to similar districts in our county. And I think this is probably the easier way, frankly. I don't know. I know this appears to be the appropriate way to handle this type of thing, to be able to ensure that we maintain the leadership that we have in our district. We've been fortunate that we haven't had significant turnover amongst district leadership. And I know there's been some turnover at the site leadership level over the past couple of years, but we've been able to be fairly consistent. And given the environment that we're in right now, I think it's important that we have consistent, stable leadership through these next couple of years. And this certainly will help ensure that we can stabilize the staff at this level, because I know that it'd be very easy in the same way that it is easier for our certificated and classified staff to find work in higher paying districts, but they choose to stay here. And I'm grateful for that. I know it's the same case with administrative level staff as well. And that's the unfortunate reality of being the lowest funded high school district in the county. Despite the fact things have improved, it's still, when you look at the chart against the other districts, it's not fun. When you see that we're at 130 of base funding, and San Mateo Union and Sequoia Union are sitting at 180 or 170. And that gap has persisted the entire 10 years I've been on a board, and will continue to do so, because structurally, that is unfortunately how it is set up, given that our district comprises of 4 communities, and that the property tax base of our district is right around $30-something billion. And that is the exact same property tax base as one city in San Mateo Union High School District, the city of San Mateo. Or if you go to Sequoia, Redwood City has the exact same property tax base. And that's not before we start talking about the higher wealth communities that are part of those districts. So we have a structural problem, and that we're never going to close that gap. But to the extent that we can continue to fight for more revenue, to be able to find ways to monetize our property, as we hope to be able to do with our property up the hill, I think these are the sorts of things I know I will commit to continue to do. And I know that's the best I can say today, and and we know that this is just not one of those easy things to take care of. Thank you.
I really want to thank you for speaking. I have to echo Mr. Lee's sentiments. I've been on the board since 2014, and being the poorest high school district in the county is rough. It's really rough. And those other districts also have education foundations. They also have, South City has Genentech, where they can get the property tax from that. And then there's Oracle in Sequoia. We don't have anything like that. So we're always fighting for more revenue. But we also understand that our administrators, in those years that we've been on the board, we have seen so much upheaval because we've lost administrators, like sometimes full teams to begin a school year. And the people who get hurt the most are the students. There's no continuity. And it's not a perfect situation, but everyone adds value here. So I think I see this as a way to keep our administrative teams together, especially now when we need continuity more than ever, because we have a bigger fight ahead of us, and it's constant. This is one of those things that, I think we have to do, to be fair. But it's not an easy decision, but it is a fair one, I believe.
I don't have a lot to add to that. I do want to thank you for getting up, being brave, and speaking up for your constituents, and being that voice. You're here by yourself, and that's a big task, for you to get up here and do that. And we're regular people too, and we understand where you're coming from. We deal with that stuff in our own lives and our own jobs and everything that we, have to deal with and contend with. And I think that, from our perspective, I just want to reassure you that, we are trying to systematically bring equality and equity to everybody. And it's not going to all come at once, so we kind of have to figure it out piece by piece. And we really need this team to do that. And, there's if we don't somehow figure out a way to keep these people together, we have that big turnover, and you just don't get that consistency out of what you're trying to do when you're setting your goals, and it's really hard to keep doing that. And I think that this district and this board and this administration have already done a lot for the people that are living in, say 705 Serramonte, and trying to give them opportunities to save money by, providing housing and stuff like that. I mean, there's definitely been a lot of work done to try to bring, equity to everybody. And I know it needs to come from the bottom too. And we'll figure out how to get there. You know what I mean? We're not heartless in that sense. I promise you that. When we're sitting here making these decisions, we are putting our hearts into this stuff. And I could promise you we're doing that. It's not, I know when you sit and look at the numbers, sometimes it doesn't make sense the way it makes sense when we're all sitting around talking about how we got to get to these numbers with our budget and all that kind of stuff. It's really complicated. And, but keep speaking up, keep making your voice heard. I mean, it's not falling on deaf ears. We're hearing you, and I appreciate you getting up and saying what you said. Any other comments? Okay. Thank you again. All right, moving on to 15. Oh, I'm sorry.
Item.
Yeah, we did a motion. Yeah.
Move to approve the salary schedule revision for the administrator's salary schedule.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, now we can move on to 15A3, Deputy Superintendent Business Services Employment Agreement.
Good
Daly,
evening. The item before you this evening is removes the Deputy Superintendent of Business Service position off of the salary schedule and places the Deputy Superintendent of Business Services position on a contract. This practice is common throughout HR teams, and it also helps promote stability and longevity for the position.
Thank you. Can I entertain a motion to approve the employee contract for Deputy Superintendent of Business Services?
I will in a minute. I'll just say I'm just grateful for this particular solution because I know this is it's important to be able to keep our senior most team intact, and it guarantees that they'll be here for the next 3 years. So thank you.
I agree with
Unless they break their contract.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Come look for you.
Yeah. Motion to approve the Deputy Superintendent of Business Services Employment Agreement.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, item 15A4, Deputy Superintendent of Educational Services Employee Agreement. Ms. Dana Lujan.
Thank you. The next item is also an employee agreement. This item, the Deputy Superintendent of Educational Services was also removed from the salary schedule and placed on an employee agreement in the interest of promoting stability and longevity for the position.
Thank you.
Same comment as before. So
All about stability and longevity.
Well, I think it's clear we see what we have, and it's important that we take care of that, nurture that, just like we do the rest of everybody else. So,
Yeah, this
For sure.
team is vital to our success and has been for many years. Like I said, we're in a fight right now, so we need you.
and it's also there's also the hidden cost of having to replace these particular positions should there be a vacancy, and that's really that's really the other concern is that the lost time, the lack of continuity that can occur, and without the right types of folks, the risk that's inherent to the district in both key positions.
Yeah, and the enormous gap you can challenge from.
So again, being able to have Deputy Superintendent Baca around for 3 more years is good.
Agreed.
So move to approve the Deputy Superintendent of Educational Services employment agreement.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Let's go to 15B1. Click on that real quick. Services and consultant contracts, approvals, replacement, Chromebook purchases, Mr. Jacob Meyer.
Well, you don't want to be in the middle? Come
You're
on.
not getting me up there.
He wants to be on TV.
Hello. So I apologize, these are supposed to be on consent, but we can talk about them and take a vote. The first item with the Chromebook purchase is just, our standard. We're replacing as many Chromebooks as we can in the classroom. And I think this order was for 580, which would, 36 devices a card. I don't have the number in front of me, but it would provide a good number. And 500 just seemed to be the number that our technicians can handle and that we have enough storage for to keep on hand. That's it.
Just quick, what are we doing with the old ones? Are we getting a credit back for any of the old ones we turn in, or how does that
We
work?
use everything until it doesn't move anymore.
Got it.
Yeah,
I'm sure they get abused.
We've reached out to, companies that buy back your old IT and they always tell us we don't want it.
It's not worth it. Huh? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Move to approve service and consultant contract approvals, replacement Chromebook purchase.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Jacob. Oh, you got the next item too, service and contract approvals for Johnson Controls HVAC system.
So this project is related to our HVAC system and basically the network and server that control the whole system. Over the years, it's kind of a lot of components of it have fallen out, it's the end of life. And we need to upgrade everything. The servers are split into 2 different servers because of the version of the software they're running. So we'd like to consolidate all of the Johnson Control devices into one server and upgrade all of the end-of-life network. I believe they call them engines, which is basically the part that plugs into the network and talks to the HVAC units. So it will update our entire system, which is also a cybersecurity risk to not have them receiving critical updates, and some of them haven't been for 10 years. So I think this is a great project, and I'm excited to get everything up to date. It'll also help making the management of our HVAC system a lot easier, only having to go to one place to update it or, make adds, moves, and changes to room temperatures and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, there's also a lot of cost savings in making sure that that's running efficiently, and I know that firsthand. So, you know how long this is going to hold us over until it needs to be upgraded again, roughly? Did they give you like a?
So I did find out that version 15 is coming out, but I don't recommend ever going to a new version. So I think moving from like version 9 to 14 is a pretty good jump for us, and it should keep us, good for, at least 4 or 5 years, I would imagine.
All right.
Thank you.
And just real quick, where are they? Are they located here in the district office, or is it different locations?
The servers are on. It's a virtual server. It's really one big computer that has all of our virtual servers in it. So it kind of, it's one place that we have to go to for all the management of our servers, and we like to keep everything in there because it's robust and redundant. And so it's not a physical server. We get that all the time. The contractors come out and they're like, "Where's the server?" We're like,
okay,
it's in the cloud. It's not a physical box sitting somewhere.
Okay.
But this just takes all of that, consolidates it, and puts it into one area like you're talking about, right?
Yeah. So what happened is over the years, because we had some of the network engines that were out, really out of date, they could only run a certain version of the software.
Oh.
And then as we do new projects, they could run a newer version. So we actually had 2 separate servers, some for the old stuff, one for the old stuff, and then one for the newer stuff. This will also help huge with the new Jefferson building, because we'll be able to, deploy the latest network engines that are available with the new software.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions?
No.
Move to approve the service and contract for Johnson Controls HVAC system upgrade.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you.
All right. Unless there's any consideration of future agenda items, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.